Welcome, man. Panthers on the Plus. I'm Nick Sturdivant. We're doing it live. And I'm here with Sports Director Nick Carboni here in studio. What's going on, man?
What's up? I figured I'd just pull the string on Nick Sturdivant and he'd just go off for 30 minutes about the Panthers because I know you have a lot of opinions and thoughts on your Panthers. But excited to get into it. It's really fun to be talking about the potential for playoffs here right ahead of Christmas. We haven't had a chance to do that here for the better part of the last decade, yet here the Panthers are 7-7 and their division rival 2 out of the last 3 weeks.
Why do we have to make it so hard?
Well, that's the fun part, Nick.
Why?
Derek Brown said in the locker room after the Saints loss, this is the way we like it. And he obviously wanted to beat the Saints, but I think what he meant was this is a team that has a lot of grit. They have a lot of fight. They're still building out their talent pool on the 53-man roster, but have certainly improved it. And, you know, they're gonna face adversity head on. And just when you think they're out, down and out, they're going to surprise you. They've done it multiple times this year. Win at Green Bay. A dud on Monday Night Football at San Francisco. 6 days later, they turn around and beat the best team in football, the LA Rams. On the flip side of that come the games like you had at the Superdome and the first game against the Saints, which I thought was worse. Neither of them helped the Panthers in their current situation. But, you know, when you think about it this way, like the Bucs and the Panthers are both 7-7, right? They're both a very different 7-7. People in Tampa are ticked, and Todd Bowles is coaching for his job right now,
Which is insane to say, right?
Yeah, and they've won. They could win a 5th straight division title. Now, if they don't, then I think he's out. But in Carolina, it's year 2 under Dave Canales. You've seen improvement. You just haven't seen the consistency. They're probably above where anybody expected them realistically to be by week 16, yet they're kind of sinking themselves every other week by losing in this letdown fashion. So there's frustration because of that, but if you really zoom out, big picture, you know, hopefully they get more than 7 wins over these last 3 weeks, but they've got a chance for 10 on a division title.
What's the read inside the locker room for Canales? Because it's hard for me in my fandom. This is probably the most complex team. Like I can't really. So I don't know the identity.
So I'll
of the
take you
team.
inside the locker room for a minute, but just think about this. Like this is a 500 team, so by its very nature, it's going to be an up and down season. Now the Panthers are like the truest form of a 500 team you could have in that after that 3-game win streak in October. They've won, they've lost. They've won, they've lost. They've gone 500 ever since. And the way in which they've done it by beating teams that nobody thinks they should and then losing to teams that nobody thinks they should, it's been very volatile, just extremely, swings in either direction every 6 to 7 days. So I think that's why for the fans and for the national media at large, they've just kind of thrown their hands up in the air and said, we don't get it. But it's a team that, for the most part, is young. They have a good nucleus of veterans that they like, that they've kept around. But it's a young team around that. It's a young head coach in terms of his career progression and his play calling. It's a young quarterback, Bryce Young in his 3rd season. He's 2 years younger than the Saints rookie quarterback that's beat him two times this year, which is wild. So it's a team, you hear learning how to win. Like they're trying to figure out, like, okay, we had that big victory on Sunday. How do we take that from Sunday to the next Sunday without dropping the ball? So hopefully they can find that, because now they have to be consistent. They have to really win 2 out of these next 3 in order to make playoffs.
In an ideal world, win all out. I mean, win the last 3. I mean, win against.
That'd be great. That would be
absolutely great. But with this team,
do we expect that? They had the 3-game win streak in October. You're talking about non-playoff teams in that scenario: Dallas, Miami, and New York. So it would be tough to do it against the Bucs, who are 4-time reigning division champs, and the Seahawks. If you're talking about a total 3-0 close to the season, the Seahawks are a playoff team and potentially the team that could travel to the NFC South winner in the wild card weekend.
2 former quarterbacks.
No, not just that, Nick. Yeah. Think about this. So you got Sam Baker to close the season. God forbid if Baker goes down this Sunday. Do you know who trots in for the Bucs?
Oh, don't.
Oh, yeah, I'm not. You don't have to reach that far back.
Really?
It's not Cam, unfortunately.
I know, that's another conversation there. Oh my goodness.
He's a high school coach. He's not Phil
Oh,
Rivers.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy Two Gloves will
Oh,
be. Teddy
what?
Two Gloves will be in the building.
I
Buccaneers
forget that
signed-
Teddy was a quarterback here.
He was a high school football coach for several years, but yeah, that's an interesting component to all this too. The Panthers trying to figure out if Bryce Young is their franchise quarterback, while seeing familiar faces of quarterbacks who they discarded in the last handful of years as well.
Quarterbacks of Christmas past.
Yeah, I was making that joke all week. It's like don't get haunted by these guys. That's for sure.
All right. So, before we move on to sort of the injury report, it was funny. Somebody asked me this team, how is there another team that I can compare it to? And I'm like, this has been the youngest team we've had in forever, the youngest coaching staff we've had in forever. I can't compare it to any other team. I guess since you've been here, have you been able to kind of compare this
No, not really
team?
since I've been here. I got here after 2016. They had the playoff season. Then you had the season that started great, but then Cam got injured, and then you had Ron Rivera's final year, and then obviously it's been tough to crack even 6 wins since then.
Yeah.
I've heard people compare it to Ron's second year, where they kind of backed their way into a division title late in the season.
But they had some
or
veterans.
improved late in the season, but not since I've been here. Like this wild swing week to week is very unique. That's for sure. So maybe we'll see another team like this in the future in Carolina. But with all these factors, plus you factor in trying to figure out if Bryce is the guy at the same time, like there's just a lot of layers to it.
I'm going to ask you that later, Bryce's guy. I'm going to hold off on that question.
Yep.
That's what we call teas in the news business. Injury report. We got some guys that...
Yeah, I think we have it if we can show that.
I feel like the Bucs are getting healthy at the right time. And
The Bucs perimeter is getting healthy, and they've got some really big weapons. I mean, Mike Evans, future Hall of Famer, he's back. Missed a good chunk of the season. Chris Godwin, he's available now. Bucky Irving, their running back who ran roughshod over the Panthers' run defense last year. He may still have some yards to eat up at Bank of America Stadium, but the Panthers' run defense is a lot tighter than that this time around. They have the rookie Egbuka. I believe Cade Otton might have been on their injury report this week, but I think he's fine. But the offensive line in Tampa is patchwork. I mean, they've got a guy elevated from the practice squad named Mike Jordan, who was floating back and forth between the practice squad here 4 or 5 years ago. So they're patchwork. They've got guys out of position up from the practice squad. Baker's been sacked 10 times in the last 5 games. Carolina has had trouble generating pressure. My big prediction is they're going to send J.C. Horn in for a corner blitz. They're going to send Trayvon Merrigan for safety blitzes. They got to really be aggressive, I think, to get after Baker, who's banged up. But if we are looking at the injury report right now, 4 Panthers, and 2 of them were surprising, did not practice on Wednesday. So you see rookie receiver Tetairoa McMillan on there. Dave Canales kind of indicated that he got rolled up making a run block in the Superdome. And the most concerning one is left tackle Ike Ekwonu, who's had a great year, and he needed to. He's got something going on in that knee, and they've taken images, and right now he's day-to-day. But I'll let you listen to these 2 guys talk about their injuries and their availability for this week, because it seems like 2 different stories.
It's been lingering for a couple weeks, but shoot, as long as I can go on Sunday, I'm good.
I mean, that's kind of something you got to work through, throughout the week. Kind of answering those sort of questions, and I just trust my training staff and trust everybody that's out there helping to try to protect me.
On the flip side of that, how do you weigh the pain versus knowing the Sunday is essentially a playoff game?
Yeah, those are all factors that go into my decision that ultimately I'll have to make.
Yeah, that's it's not promising on Ekwonu, I can tell you that. We'll see what the injury report holds tomorrow. The Bucs have a decent front. The back end is where you take advantage of Tampa. But Ike Ekwonu, leaving against any team is not good for this team at this time of year. And he was asked about, he's had other injury. He had an appendix removed right before the season. He's had other injuries right before big games, and I know that's disappointing to him. And he's been a good protector of Bryce Young this year, and he's also a big part of the offensive line's push up front in the run game.
And offensive line that's similar to Tampa. I mean, patchwork. I mean, we've gotten guys. I can't even tell you.
Yeah, it's getting a little better.
Line.
I mean, Moton's been a stalwart on the right side. For the most part, Icky's been on the left. Austin Corbett, Cade Mays been in and out of the lineup. Now it's back to Cade Mays at center, Corbett at guard, Damian Lewis, who's also on the injury report with an illness. Some of us are dealing with something right now, this time of year. Now I'm day to day too, but usually that passes and somebody's ready to suit up on Sunday. So I actually would put the Panthers offensive line as a strength right now, even with all the in and out and different combinations. They're kind of getting back. That's the other part of the icky thing is like they were just getting back to like everybody's back. Rob Hunt, there is some hope left for him at the very end of the season or potential playoff game, but it's been a good offensive line. It doesn't matter how many of the 10 or 11 combinations they've thrown out there.
Nick Carboni on the injury report, but always plays. You don't have to worry about that. With that being said, let's take a quick break. We'll be back here in just 2 minutes here on Panthers on the Plus. Nick Carboni, Nick Sturdivant. We'll be right back, guys.